Welcome to Arkham Oranges, a mod where Batman is replaced with man. But not just man, but I am setting some rules too. Due to being man will 1. Not use gadgets unless absolutely necessary. However, oranges and 20/20 vision are exempt from this rule. 2. No stealth unless absolutely necessary. 3. No gliding unless absolutely necessary. However, if a puzzle involves any sort of gadget but man finds a way to not use the gadget and glide instead, that's better. 4. And man is on normal difficulty because he is stupid. With these rules, let's get into the origins of man. Why is man so skinny? Is he mayhaps a young lad? Is this before he became stupid?
Yeah.
Well, if it was, it is no longer the case after taking 2 bat swings to the head alongside a metal pipe, leaving him with permanent brain damage. And with this newfound brain damage, man fights off some thugs with his trusty oranges he likes to carry in his... Well, I don't know where he carries these. But after a short brawl, man must interrogate a goon, and never mind, he just killed the goon. Guess we won't inquire any goon knowledge. Oh look, a mysterious flying object, in which man has no choice but to be entertained by it. Following its path, and it seems it led him into a trap, so he must fight to survive once again. And now to escape, man searched but found the only way to continue to learn about his past is to already use 1 grapple. And yet another to pursue this killer adductor longus, named after his absurdly large adductus longus muscle in his left leg. 1 quick orange allows man to open this door, well, somewhat, but in order to ascend up this elevator, he must use some of his hair gel to blow up the floor, leading man in the complete opposite direction man desired to travel.
Wow!
1 quick vent later and man finds himself once again having to defend himself. Why are these criminals hyper-aggressive? Do they need therapy? And once again, man needs to use more gadgets. This place is not very man-friendly, it seems, using a ball and a gel to put a goon to sleep. On the bright side, 2 more oranges is all it needs to take to open this door. But on the dark side, man has to use yet another claw just to vent. This game hates man. Man hears a strange explosion-like sound, making him start to worry what the room up ahead looks like, and oh no, the stairs are completely broken. But hey, look, a cool drone he found on the ground. Maybe he could use it to fly? No, man is stupid and steals its chip instead of repairing it to fly to the top. Now, after the tremendous victory that was climbing the church clock tower as man back in Ham City, man was filled with determination to do this once again. He tried for a couple 147 minutes to do this while live on YouTube and Twitch, but he was met with little success. Let me put this into context. This is equivalent to about 6 full-length Family Guy episodes back to back, over 150 TikToks, or watching Batman Begins while taking a 7-minute bathroom break. Not sure who this Batman guy is, but his movies seem pretty cool. And due to not being able to give up unless it's deemed absolutely impossible, at around the 1 hour and 55-minute mark of trying this one part, I introduced Subway Surfers to keep the watch time up while on stream. And yes, this is a 10-second GIF that keeps looping over and over again. You gotta make do with what you have. But after another 30 minutes, I decided to throw in the towel. It very much may be possible, it is just on the edge of being impossible, as man refuses to glide like he did in Ham City, meaning all he will do is jump, making it much harder to ascend, meaning we have no choice but to use 1 more grapple to ascend this broken staircase. And yes, I forgot to remove the Subway Surfers for about half of the Killer Adductus Longus fight. Hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. As for the Killer Adductus Longus fight, man knew exactly what to do. He must slap Adductus Longus with his forearms to throw him off balance, allowing man to beat him crazy style, a move strictly forbidden in hand-to-hand combat due to how unbalanced it is. Killer Adductus Longus retaliates with the one, the only, pick up heavy explosive and stand there while letting it get hit with an orange, causing it to explode and you take substantial damage, a move only the most foolish of fools make. This causes Killer Adductus Longus to turn from enemy to lover, wanting to give man a nice big kiss on the forehead. But man, not knowing how to react to social cues, kicks him in the face, causing him to be very sad, so he tries again, but just like last time, man has no idea what the heck is even going on, so his fight or flight continues to make man kick the face of Killer Ductus Longus despite only wanting to be lovers. In defeat, Killer Ductus Longus accepts his fate, allowing himself to be exploded one last time so man can continue to live, even at the cost of his own life. Holy crap, it seems our consciousness has been transported back to the man cave. Fred must have called us back for an important reason. Who cares, couldn't have been that important, so man leaves before Fred can explain the situation. What's the worst it could be? Assassins trying to kill man? Highly improbable. And it seems our consciousness was transferred once again, this time to save some hostages. But first scares the hostage takers with a very threatening silhouette. But man, not being the brightest, refuses to use the smoke ball, but instead results in throwing himself around and then chucking oranges anywhere he can. Do not ask where he keeps all these oranges, he won't even tell me, trust me, I tried. And he got this hostage killed. So once again, he permanently scars these hostage takers with the sheer amount of oranges he somehow is able to perfectly throw like some sort of a boomerang without it returning. Maybe he's more than just a man? Could he be the ever so reliable pea shooter? But without any success, man uses a smoke pellet as well as a mandatory grapple to continue this segment. But man wasn't satisfied, so he tried to sneak up on this thug and... What is that reaction time? Yeah, this guy would dominate at Samurai Kirby for the Nintendo DS family of systems. Man then tried to be sneaky, but, well... Holy crap, he shoots fast. And again... Sadly, it seems man has no choice but to follow the omnipotent voice telling him to do an inverted takedown to save the hostage. Instead of a takedown, man goes for the good old-fashioned beat them until they physically cannot move anymore. But, on an unfortunate side, it seems man's head and fists have not hardened enough to be able to dive through plywood, forcing him to do a regular old takedown instead. And as for the last, man, being the short 6'2" person he is, cannot get the final thug without having to use a grapple. Now all that's left is to open this door. Another man has been deployed after that mistake, but in order to also not be blown up, this man will first have to use his superior intellect to solve the crime. And this man was forced to use his phone to bypass the lock, allowing him to progress further than the previous man could. This man will now be referred to as just man, taking the previous man's place. One less phone use and, well, shucks, it's a nerd. Man hates nerds. All they do is talk about riddles and be annoying, so man hangs up on him. But now we can finally be free to roam the Ham City. Wait, that was the last game. Orange City? I have no idea. So man jumps. But after a good 10 minutes of just running around and fighting thugs, man was finally able to find a way to get atop the bridge in the middle, letting him progress and finally go meet Santa Claus.